We suffer more often in imagination than in reality.
You feel it constantly, don't you? That low-level hum of anxiety buzzing in the background of your life. It's the pressure of the bills piling up on the counter, the noise of social media demanding your attention, and the creeping fear that you are falling behind in a race you never even signed up for. You are exhausted. But you aren't exhausted by physical labor. You are exhausted by the sheer weight of your own thoughts. What if I told you that the chaos isn't the problem? The problem is your reaction to the chaos. The problem is that you are trying to play a game without knowing the rules. Today, we're breaking down 9 specific, actionable Stoic principles that act as immediate circuit breakers for your stress. These aren't just dry theories from dusty books. They are weapons for your mind, tools for immediate relief in a frantic world. If you are ready to stop drifting through life and start living with intention, I invite you to click subscribe and join our community here at Timeless Wisdom Official. Let's build your inner fortress together.
Principle 1. The dichotomy of control. We begin with the most fundamental pillar of Stoicism, and perhaps the hardest lesson for the modern mind to accept: the dichotomy of control. Look at your life right now. What are you stressed about? Maybe it's the political climate in the country. Maybe it's the traffic on your morning commute. Maybe it's what your coworker whispered about you during the Zoom meeting. We exhaust ourselves trying to micromanage the universe. We think if we worry hard enough, we can force the world to bend to our will. Epictetus, the slave who became a philosopher, taught us the only truth that matters. Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. It sounds simple, but you aren't living it. Up to you are your opinions, your motivations, your desires, and your aversions. In short, your own mind. Not up to you are your body, your property, your reputation, and the actions of others. When you try to control what is not yours, like forcing someone to like you or willing the economy to improve, you are setting yourself up for guaranteed misery. You are gambling your happiness on a dice roll. Here is how you apply this today. Use the 2-column exercise. When you feel that tightness in your chest, stop. Mentally divide your problem into 2 columns. Column A, things I can change. Column B, things I cannot change. If it falls into column B, you must practice the art of indifference. This doesn't mean you don't care about the outcome. It means you detach your self-worth from it. You do your best, and then you let go. Stop screaming at the weather. Focus only on how you dress for the storm. Principle 2. Premeditatio malorum, negative visualization. The second principle answers a specific American anxiety: our fragility. We live in a culture that is terrified of loss. We are terrified of losing our jobs, our status, our comfort, or our health. We walk around on eggshells, hoping that if we ignore the bad things, they won't happen. The Stoics took the opposite approach. They believed you should look your fears directly in the eye. This is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is not about being a pessimist. It is about being prepared. Seneca advised us to rehearse the worst-case scenario in our minds, not to induce anxiety, but to immunize ourselves against it. When you wake up in the morning, spend 5 minutes visualizing the things you value being taken away. Imagine your car breaks down. Imagine you lose your job. Imagine your house burns down. Why would you do this? 2 reasons. First, it removes the shock. If the worst happens, you have already been there in your mind. You won't panic, you will pivot. Second, and most importantly, it creates immense gratitude. When you open your eyes after visualizing the loss of your home, you look around at your living room and you don't see a mess to clean up. You see a shelter that you are lucky to have. You stop taking your partner for granted. You stop taking your health for granted. By contemplating loss, you learn to truly love what you have while you have it. Principle 3. Voluntary discomfort. This brings us to the third principle, which combats the comfort crisis of the modern world. We live in climate-controlled boxes. We order food with a single click. We avoid all friction. We have become soft. We are terrified of being slightly too hot, slightly too cold, or slightly hungry. Because we live in constant comfort, the moment life gets hard, and life always gets hard, we crumble. Seneca said, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?' You must train for hardship just as an athlete trains for a game. You must practice voluntary discomfort. This implies doing the hard thing when you don't have to, so you are ready when you do have to. Take a cold shower in the morning. Fast for 16 hours and sit with the hunger. Leave your phone at home and go for a walk, without the constant dopamine drip of the internet. When you voluntarily choose discomfort, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses. You realize that being cold won't kill you. Being hungry won't break you. You build a callus over your mind. You are training your resilience muscles so that when a real crisis hits, a recession, a tragedy, a failure, you remain standing while everyone else falls apart. Principle 4. The view from above. Now let's shift our perspective. One of the greatest sources of misery in the modern world is our lack of perspective. We get sucked into petty dramas. We let a rude comment on social media ruin our day. We stress over office politics or the delay of a package as if these were life or death situations. We live with our faces pressed against the glass, unable to see anything but the immediate obstacle in front of us. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, a man who had every reason to be self-absorbed, practiced a technique known as the view from above. I want you to try this right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine pulling back from your current location. See your body sitting in the room. Now zoom out further. See your house, then your neighborhood. See your city as a sprawling grid of lights. Zoom out until you see the earth hanging in the vast darkness of space, a tiny blue pale dot. From this vantage point, look for your problems. Where is that annoying email? Where is that traffic jam? Where is that person who cut you off? They are invisible. They are insignificant. This isn't meant to make you feel meaningless. It is meant to liberate you. When you realize how small your emergencies are in the grand scheme of the cosmos, the anxiety evaporates. You stop sweating the small stuff because you realize it is all small stuff. You return to your life with a sense of calm detachment, knowing that the only thing that truly matters is the integrity of your own character. Principle 5. Amor fati. Once you have gained perspective, you must learn to deal with the inevitable curveballs life throws at you. This brings us to the 5th principle, amor fati, a Latin phrase that translates to love your fate. Most of us live in a state of resistance. When something goes wrong, a flat tire, a breakup, a rejected application, our first reaction is anger. We shout, "Why is this happening to me? This isn't fair." We waste precious energy wishing reality was different than it is. The Stoic does not merely tolerate what happens. The Stoic loves it. Think of a fire. If you throw a log into a small fire, it might smother it. But if the fire is roaring, it consumes the log and burns even brighter. You must be that roaring fire. When an obstacle blocks your path, do not turn around. Do not complain. See that obstacle as fuel. If you lose your job, that is fuel. It is an opportunity to finally pursue the career you wanted or to learn resilience. If a relationship ends, that is fuel. It is a chance to learn independence and self-reliance. Adopt this mindset. When something bad happens, force yourself to say the word, good. Then, immediately look for the hidden benefit, the lesson, or the strength you can forge from that struggle. Don't just bear your burden, use it to get stronger. Principle 6. Sympathia. In a culture that celebrates hyper-individualism, where it feels like it's you against the world, we often fall into a deep sense of isolation and loneliness. We feel disconnected. The Stoics had a cure for this, sympathia. This is the belief in the mutual interdependence of all things. Marcus Aurelius wrote, What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee. He understood that we are not isolated islands. We are part of a larger organism. When you cut yourself off from others, when you view everyone as a competitor or an enemy, you wither. If you are feeling empty or anxious, the fastest way to heal yourself is to turn outward. Stop asking, "What can I get from this interaction?" and start asking, "How can I serve?" This doesn't mean you have to save the world. It means acting with kindness toward the cashier. It means being a good neighbor. It means doing your work with excellence because your work contributes to the whole. When you shift from transaction to contribution, your existential dread quiets down. You realize you belong here because you have a role to play. Principle 7, Memento Mori. The seventh principle is perhaps the most potent antidote to the modern disease of procrastination and distraction. We waste hours doom-scrolling on our phones. We put off our dreams until someday. We hold grudges for years. Why? Because we delusionally believe we have unlimited time. We live as if we are immortal. The Stoics carried a skull with them, metaphorically and sometimes literally. Memento mori. Remember you must die. This sounds morbid to the modern ear, but it is actually the most life-affirming thought you can have. You could leave life right now, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself. Let that determine what you do and say and think. If you truly believed, in your bones, that this could be your last week on Earth, would you be arguing with a stranger in a comment section? Would you be worried about the pimple on your forehead? Would you be spending your evening watching mind-numbing reality TV? No. You would focus on what matters. You would tell the people you love that you love them. You would work on your passion. You would forgive the petty slights. Use death as a tool. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it cut away the noise. When you wake up, remind yourself that this day is not a right. It is a gift. Do not waste it. Principle 8. Turning the other cheek. We live in an age of outrage. It has never been easier to be offended. We scroll through comments looking for fights. We let a honking horn ruin our morning. We replay a sarcastic remark from a family member in our heads for days. We are constantly handing the keys to our happiness over to other people. The eighth principle is about reclaiming that power, refusing to be offended. The Stoics believed that an insult is like a rock thrown at a solid wall. If the wall is strong, the rock simply bounces off. The rock only causes damage if the wall is crumbling. When someone insults you, disrespects you, or cuts you off in traffic, you have a choice. You can react with anger, which is exactly what they want, and in doing so, you become their slave. You let their bad behavior dictate your emotional state. Or you can choose the Stoic response. Pause. Ask yourself, is what they said true? If it is true, then it is not an insult. It is feedback. Correct yourself and move on. If it is false, then they are mistaken. They are acting out of ignorance or their own internal pain. That is their problem, not yours. Why be angry at someone for being wrong? You should view them with pity, not rage. As Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Do not give strangers the power to disturb your peace. When you refuse to get angry, you remain invincible. Principle 9. The inner citadel. Finally, we arrive at the ninth and perhaps most important principle for surviving the modern world, the inner citadel. Every day your mind is under siege. The 24-hour news cycle sells you fear. Advertisers sell you inadequacy. Social media sells you envy. The world is constantly trying to storm the gates of your mind, dragging mud across your carpet and demanding your attention. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control the world outside, we must be the absolute monarchs of the world inside. Marcus Aurelius described the mind as an inner citadel, a fortress that no external force can penetrate unless you lower the drawbridge. You must become the guardian of this fortress. You must be ruthless about what you allow in. Most of us leave the gate wide open. We wake up and immediately scroll through tragedies on our phones before we've even gotten out of bed. We listen to toxic gossip. We let negative people dump their garbage into our minds. Stop doing this. Curate your inputs. Guard your mind against toxic news and toxic people just as fiercely as you would guard your home against an intruder. If it does not make you wiser, stronger, or calmer, do not let it in. Your mind is a temple, not a landfill. Protect it. We have walked through 9 ancient principles today. We learned to distinguish what we can control from what we cannot. We learned to visualize loss to appreciate life. We learned to embrace discomfort to build resilience. We zoomed out to see the cosmos, and we zoomed in to protect our inner citadel. These are not just intellectual ideas. They are a toolkit for survival. The world is noisy, chaotic, and often unfair. That will not change. But you can change. You can choose to be the rock that the waves crash against, standing unmoved and taming the fury of the water around you. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the master of your perception. Stoicism isn't about having no emotion. It is about having the right emotions. It is about possessing a joy and a peace that the world cannot give you, and therefore the world cannot take away. I want to thank you for spending your most valuable resource, your time, here with us at Timeless Wisdom Official. In a world full of distractions, your choice to seek wisdom says a lot about who you are. If these principles sparked a shift in your perspective, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It is a small action for you, but it helps us immensely in spreading these timeless lessons to others who are silently struggling. And I have a question for you. Which of these 9 principles do you find the hardest to apply in the modern world? Is it a more fatty, loving your fate? Is it the dichotomy of control? Or perhaps the discipline of the inner citadel? Let me know in the comments below. I read them, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, remain strong, remain grounded, and keep building your fortress.